Into Pisces season. And right off the bat, you might be able to see from the slide how much we are in the emotional center during the month of Pisces, during the season of Pisces. And it's interesting because Pisces is a water sign. So this is the fish. And when I was sitting with this, I was really kind of getting the theme for the Little Mermaid, and I was seeing Poseidon. So there's a lot of magical energy in there as well. But it came with a reminder of we only know maybe about 10% of what is in the depths of the ocean. You also only know about 10% of what is in the depths of you. So they want to really anchor into that time during Aquarius season. If you look at that as the cupbearer, right in the very middle of that, the center line was all about going through the gate 13 of looking back and listening. So they want to continue the theme of really listening to yourself, not getting so involved with what is happening out in the world, but noticing how you are reacting and responding to your own emotional energies. So we are really seeing a lot of connections in there for that solar plex. And again, reminding yourself, are you emotionally defined? If that is your authority in human design, it is so, so important to find your middle place, to figure out like what is your neutrality in there. And what causes you to jump in so quickly to make decisions when you are put under pressure? So continuing to monitor your stress is also going to play a part in how you are going to deal with that emotional energy that is coming through. Finding ways for you to allow space before responding. And really nurturing yourself if you are white in that area, because now you're listening to how the power of someone else's emotions can override your entire system. And that is a possibility for all of us. But because it is white on some individual's chart, you are amplifying that energy at 200%. So as you're swimming around in the ocean, swim around with a sense of curiosity. Remind yourself of the Little Mermaid who is out to have fun, but along the way, you're going to meet a lot of things that may be unpleasant. You may be coming in with a sense of feeling very uncomfortable and even a little bit scared within that energy. So you have to jump up to parent yourself and remind yourself of all of the tools that you do have, and really leaning in again to your body consciousness, so your intuitive self, and ways to get you anchored and connected to the earth itself. So we're going to see that we have our first two stimulations again pointing down towards that root center. That is emotional pressure. If you're stressed, it's going to throw you off. It's going to create a lot of turbulent waves in there. Then we jump over into a connection to the heart center. Well, this is tribal energy. This is all about the family, the community, wanting to get together with others. So you may be finding yourself really exploring your need to socialize during that time, and really kind of asking yourself, are you finding areas to socialize where it feels to be more balanced? That is the gift of equality. Or are you keeping yourself in relationships where you're just giving in to their needs? Are you sacrificing yourself for someone else's happiness? So you may be looking at some patterns within your own tendencies that are really keeping you stuck in the shadows of victimization, needing everybody else's approval to be who you are, being really tempted to get out there and accomplish your desires, but it might not be the right time for that. So we're going to have to really face some of those energies within us at a collective level to determine what is healthy for you and what is not. And because we're going to jump up right into that head center again, and this time on the other side, you're also going to be facing some doubts. Now, the doubts within yourself, when you are managing your stress and you're being really careful with your emotions and you're respecting the emotions, you're honoring them, you're processing them, you're giving yourself a lot of time to really sit with you and listen to you, the doubts that come up is your body's way of eliminating all the things that don't make sense for you to find a greater truth within yourself. And that is the highest aspect found within that gate. Now, if you're under a lot of stress and you're under a lot of emotional pressure and you're not trusting in your body and you're too busy to hear the higher guidance coming in, you're going to be stuck in the doubts. And you're going to come up with every reason to explain why things are the way that they are and why you're still that victim, why you're still having to give in, even though your body's saying, well, this is bullshit. It's just going to go right there. So from there, we're going to go down into 2 more gate activations. And this time it's going to lead us towards a throat center and solar plex emotional connection. That means during this time, there's going to be a tendency to want to speak one's emotions or to jump in and do something about the emotions. So if there is a lot of fire, a lot of heat, a lot of turbulence going on within yourself at this time, that is where we can really face the shadow of dishonor, doing things that you probably are going to regret, and having to be accountable for all actions, and really creating a lot of turbulence, which can then overwhelm your entire system. So we always want to remember that whenever we are too stressed and we're not taking care of our physical body, we put a lot of pressure on our emotions. And when our emotions aren't dealt with in an appropriate way, it overrides the ability for the mind to think rationally, and it floods down into the fears of you that are all related to survival and self-preservation. So it becomes this never-ending cycle of creating all that turbulence within yourself. And in order to get out of that, you really have to slow yourself down, come back into you, anchor your roots back into the earth, take those deep breaths inside yourself, recognize that we're all in this together. Humanity is going through a lot of changes right now, and you can't change anybody outside of you, but you can learn to calm down your own waters and to weather out the storm. And all of this energy during this time is really driving us down to one of the love gates, which is known as the gate of innocence. And that's going to be the start of the spring equinox. So it's looking at, how do we close off our heart because we feel so much anxiety about the world around us? And can we allow ourselves to come into a deeper sense of acceptance by loving our own shadow tendencies and moving through those, and also learning to accept everybody else is on their own journey? So making a lot of peace with yourself in that innocent is then going to help plant the seeds that are going to come up for you in the springtime that have the possibility to really flourish and be nourished in that energy. But it really takes focusing on that, building a strong foundation during the first 3 months of the year, and having to go through all this water and all these storms, but knowing that you can ride through the waves. You don't have to participate in somebody else's drama. You don't have to participate within your own drama. So Pisces season has a lot of energy for us during that time, but it's also very, very magical for us.